I'm Jo, and I'm in Catalonia. And today you're going to join me on a walk to find a spring at the top of a hill. Let's go! This part of the path almost feels like an English woods because it's sheltered and it's cool. But I'm sure if it was sunny, then it would feel very different. I love it that there's still so much green everywhere, despite there being so little rain in the area. You have to remember that I'm an English teacher and not a botanist, but I'm wondering if this tree is a cork tree, because the bottom part of the bark has been removed, and there are lots of other trees that have the same pattern. I'm not sure if on this tree trunk it's moss or it's lichen, but I'm sure it's a sign of a healthy environment. To me, blackberries always seem like a sign of autumn, but it's only early August here, and there are already some very delicious ripe ones. A few days ago here, there was torrential rain, and it looks like this part of the path must have turned into a mini river during the downpour. It's very dry again now. The last few days here have been quite overcast, which means it's been a lot cooler. And it's been a pleasure to be able to walk in this dry and scrubby Mediterranean environment. I love the pine trees that look like a kind of broccoli. I think you can probably hear the breeze. I've just arrived at this beautiful viewpoint from which you can see the sea in the distance. And on the other side, you can see another part of the path which I'm about to walk on. This is getting exciting now. I found my first evidence of running water. Hopefully this will lead me towards the spring at the top. I've reached the top of the trail, and there is a sign here in Catalan telling us where we have arrived. And growing next to the sign is a fig tree. Here is one of the figs, not yet ripe. On the other side of the fig tree, we can see that there are also grapevines growing on it. I feel a bit like I'm in a Roman feast. Look at these beautiful little grapes. So every year I work here and I look at these figs and these grapes growing in August, and then I finish my contract at the end of August, and they're not ripe. They don't get ripe until September or so. I still love looking at the trees. Up here, past a final fig tree, is the spring that I have walked to see. It's called the Iron Spring. Well, that's my translation of the name anyway. And you can see by the colour that there are definitely iron deposits coming out of this spring. It comes from the mountainside above. The water is cold and fresh. I've tried some of it. Next to the spring there's a little rock alcove. I imagine that previously this would have had some religious statues or icons in it, but now it's got a little plastic box for geocaching and a notebook for people who want to write inspirational things about the beautiful place that the spring is in. Thank you for joining me on my walk to La Font Del Ferro, or the Iron Spring. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye!